Okay, here we are with the brand new Toyota Tundra 2022. I'm gonna give you the 4,000 mile review. That's right, I've driven this bad boy 4,000 miles in about a month. Towed it up to Wisconsin, actually South Dakota, then Wisconsin, back to Virginia. And I'm gonna give you some tips on some cool features on this truck, show you what I think. This is my fourth Tundra. So this is the first of this new body style that I'm gonna show you the cool features I like about it, give you my honest review, my honest opinion on this truck. I tow my bass boat all over the country. That's what I do with this thing. That bass boat, all total, weighs about 3,500 pounds. So I'll tell you what I think about this truck and how it tows and how it drives and all that kind of stuff. But first, this thing is dirty. I've had it all over the country. We need to go wash it up. We're gonna go wash it up. I'll show you some features on the inside. Let's go. Okay, the first thing you'll see is there's no key on this one. This is the first Tundra I've ever had that doesn't have a key. It's just the transponder that has the lock, unlock, and then you can hold that button on this model. It's the SR5. You can hold the button right there and the tailgate will drop down all like slow and fancy like. Really cool feature. So it's just the transponder. So all you have to do is use your finger to push this button right here and start her up. Now, as you'll notice, it's not like a deep growl when it starts up. It's a lot more car-like, if you will. The one thing that I notice from having previous Tundras is that when you close that door, when you open the door, and you close it, it's more solid. It doesn't sound as tinny. That's the best. Tin is in like the metal tin, not like the number 10. But the doors, I feel like have more insulation, more weather stripping or something. They're a little tighter fit, a little quieter, almost a little bit more of a luxury feel. Now in this one, this model I've got is an SR5. The SR5 is like the first notch up. The SR is the bottom, has an SR5. There's I think the limited 1794 edition, I believe. Then there's a TRD Pro edition, and that's not a Z-Man thing for all you fishermen out there. It's not a TRD like the Ned Rig TRD. That's Toyota Racing Development. Sounds cool. And then there's one more up above that, Capstone, I think it is. That sounds dignified. But this is an SR5 and it feels very luxury to me. There was a couple things when I was going to order this truck that I wanted. I wanted the big screen, I wanted the towing package, and then basically black, red, or white. Or black, red, or gray. It was all I wanted, color-wise. So it took my guy a little bit to find this truck. It took, I wanted it, I told him I wanted it in February. It wasn't until August, first week of August that it came in. Actually came in at the end of July. So it took a little bit. If you want one, you might have to wait a little bit. But just so you know, I don't have any affiliation with Toyota. I'm just telling you as a person that drives one a whole lot. As you can see, you've got 4,191 miles on the truck already in a little over a month. And I love it, I'll be honest with you. That snuck out, sorry. Snuck out, I love it, but let's go take a little drive. I'll tell you one quick feature that's nice. For me, I do the tow haul feature. When you're towing, you can see down here, there's a little button. You have regular drive mode, you hit that right there and it goes into tow haul mode. And what that does is that tow haul mode changes how your transmission shifts. So when you're pulling a heavier trailer, like a bass boat, that is the way to go. It is great. But we're gonna go ahead and take a ride. You can see this massive screen that we have here. Get some tunes. I don't even know who's playing. The police. Police don't need to play up in here at the moment, but we're just gonna go down here. We're gonna just take a little ride. Yep. This truck is hands down the smoothest truck I've ever driven. And Miles forgot to put a seatbelt on. So that's what we're dinging about. It's very responsible. It's a very responsible truck. They want you to be safe. Toyota, every time it dings at you, I call it Barbara. Barbara wants you to be safe. I got that from Iaconelli, Mr. Mike Iaconelli. It's what he calls his truck. You know, the person that looks after you in the truck is always Barbara. So Barbara's looking after you. But as you can see on this big screen, I don't know if you can see it too good, but I've already got some of the things programmed in here. But if you go to, you know, like Sirius XM, they can have suggestions based on the radio stations that you listen to. So it's just a massive touch screen on there, and you can move around to different parts. Like if you want to click to your phone, my phone's already programmed in there. That's my smart box. It's the Missile Magic smart box. We're just good. The car wash is just right here. But you can see that this very smooth. That's a big bump we just went over. Very smooth. As I was saying before, it's hands down the smoothest truck I've ever driven as far as the ride, comfort level, ease of driving. It's like driving a luxury SUV more than it is a truck. That's the simple way to put that. But we're gonna go through this car wash here. We're gonna get it cleaned up, and then I'll show you a bunch more cool features about this truck. I feel like I'm taking a shower, but it's really just the truck. All right. Whew. I feel better now that the truck's clean. It's gonna be beautiful, especially when you have a black, dark colored truck. You gotta keep it clean. It's a requirement. The truck is very responsive when you're taking off. But as far as towing goes, that's the first thing that everybody asks me about this truck. How does it tow? How does it do with that boat behind you? So with basically most of the 4,000 miles being towing by my big Bass Cat, I'd say it tows amazing. It tows a lot like that turbo diesel I had before. I had a Ford turbo diesel before I had my first Tundra, and it tows a lot like that because it's a V6, I think they call it an I-Force V6, but it's a twin turbo V6. 379 horsepower, 389 horsepower, 479 foot-pounds of torque, which is substantial. That 470, that's a lot of torque for an engine, but that's exactly what a truck needs. It needs a lot of torque when you're talking about towing stuff and hauling things. So that's plenty of power, but it takes a second for that power to build up. It, like, you hammer down on it, it takes us, it starts out a little bit slow, but then, man, she's like shot out of a cannon, even towing the boat. I'm gonna back into the spot here so we can get a good view. You can see that giant screen that I wanted. The other models that don't have, and as you can see, it's got the backup alerts. So I'm backing up and getting close to that tree. Barbara's letting me know, hey buddy, don't back into that tree. So we're gonna stop right there. Love this big giant screen. You can also see that there's a built-in navigation on it that you can zoom in and zoom out. We're here in Salem, Virginia, but you can zoom in and out and scroll around and see whatever you want to see. It's also got Apple Carplay in it. If you hook up to your Apple phone up to this right there, it'll automatically plug in. It's got the little spot down here for your phone to sit. It's not an automatic charger, which I thought would have been an even cool feature if that was like one of those built-in automatic chargers, but it's not. Here's a picture of my little girls a few years back that I keep with me. But so I put this in here. This is my little add-on because I'm driving. I usually keep my phone right here so I can not text and drive. As far as you know, it's for maps, so I know where I'm going. Don't run into any traffic. The panel right here is totally different than the other Tundras. This one has heated seats, which are nice. My buns are warming as we speak. And then the radio volume's here, but all the controls are different for your AC. The AC unit, like most Toyota products, just will blow you out of there. The heat and the AC will just blow you out. Love that feature. A lot of little neat, interesting features like this. this pops up, but you also have the little slide back, just a fancy little new feature. There are a ton of those kind of features on this truck. Not going to show you every single one of those because it would take forever in this, but there's just so many cool little neat features. We're going to have to probably do a second video, I would think, to kind of show you the ins and outs of it. But there's a couple of things I want to show you on the outside, and then a couple of things I want to show you on the phone that can really help you understand if you like this truck, or if this truck may be for you. Some cool features, technology, you know, technology is the deal. But and one other cool feature on this truck is when you put it in park, it's got an electronic parking brake. So there's no manual parking brake to hit, especially like if you're on a boat ramp and you're backing your boat down on that steep boat ramp and you put it in park to get out. You put that bad boy in park, the electronic parking brake is going to go ahead and lock her down so you won't get run over when you go back there to put your plug in. Automatically does that. Then when you put it back in drive, it automatically disengages. Love that feature. That's a really cool feature. But then when you just push the button, turn it off, and we'll go out here and I'll show you some cool features on the outside. Okay, now this is better, right? Now she's clean, now she's looking good. Old Black Beauty is back, yes indeed. The first thing you might notice are the all-terrain tires, bigger. Those are not stock. I did not get those. I cannot leave anything stock. That's just me. I've never had a stock vehicle in my entire life. So I've always got to do something. I put some subwoofers in there for my sounds, for my ears, for my good times and my tunes. But on the outside, we put 33 12.5 R20 all-terrain tires on there. We did some gear alloy wheels on there. Mr. Brett Myers down there at CS Motorsports. Dude, he'll dial in your vehicle, that is for sure. But that's what we did on there. I wanted to put a leveling kit on there, but since this truck has a towing package, and what that entails is not only does it have all the hookups and whatnot, it also has airbags built in from Toyota, airbags in the back of this vehicle, in the back of that truck. So whenever I put my bass boat down there and it starts to load onto the rear, I can hear that little air compressor. I can hear that air compressor pumping it up so you don't get that sag in the back. That's why I really wanted that Toyota towing package to begin with. Love that. It's been great so far. It's got the other towing features if you're towing something even heavier that you can do. I think it says up to 12,000 pounds of towing capacity. That is a lot. I don't even come close to touching that, and I can believe it because this truck tows my bass boat with ease. But man, a lot of cool. One of the coolest features I want to show you. We might have to get out of the sunlight. One of the coolest features that I'll show you is that we got the truck locked, and then I want to show you one cool feature over here. So I've got the truck locked. I've got the keys in my pocket, right? So I'm going up to the door. And it's got the transponder in there so it knows it unlocked the door for me. I said, thanks a lot, truck. Oh no. Oh yeah, it's unlocked. It's unlocked. So that is one of the coolest features. As I mentioned, it's a SR5 package, but it's got the big screen and it's got leather seats. I didn't know whether I would I put this little deal in there because I drive so much. It takes the pressure off your spine and it really helps your back alignment. So I always drive with one of those things. I drive so much, especially 12, 14-hour drives in a day. That's a lot. It's a lot of sitting. You got to have comfort in there. But in the back, the only thing I did really is put the WeatherTech floor mats in the front and back. And then I got the WeatherTech deal for my dogs, I should say. We have 2 dogs now, but they're labs. And if you have labs, you understand. Labs like to leave behind their hairs. So we got that so our dog won't tear up the leather seats. And that's kind of all we have on the inside. A lot of pockets. It's got this under seat storage. There's my subwoofers under there. Got some tools. A lot of storage under there. I've got a lot of stuff under there. In my previous Tundras, I've put all that stuff in the doors. Now I just only have a few things in the doors, and most everything else is there. But let me show you one of the coolest features Let's walk over here. Let's walk over here so we can just take a look at beauty. And this is probably my favorite feature of the whole truck right here. And we talked about technology. I'm gonna get out of the sun over here. Hopefully it won't mess up Mr. Miles over there on the camera. We'll get out of the sun. Here, come on over here. So we've got the truck locked. I'm gonna pull up Toyota app. It's got Toyota connected services. It's part of this truck. I've got my truck already registered, already typed in here, and there's my 22 Tundra. Tells you the miles, tells you you can see how much gas you have left in it. And then, oh, you know what? Let me go ahead and give her a start. I can push this button right here and hold it down, and it will send a message to that truck. And you can see the lights starting to flash. The truck started up from my phone. Now that is cool right there. Now there's a few other vehicles that do that. I get it. But Toyota, that's a big step for Toyota. Toyota's not had that feature. You can also lock and unlock the truck that way. You can see your vehicle status. I think there is a service. You can make service appointments through the app. You can schedule an oil change. You can see if you have recall notices all through that app. That is like super slick in my opinion. I love that feature. And then if you're like, you know what, it'll go for 10 minutes and then it'll turn itself off. But if you know what, I don't need you running truck. I'm gonna hold you down. It's gonna send the message and it'll turn the truck off. I don't know, I just think that's the coolest stuff ever. I mean, technology is really awesome. But that's really kind of my 4,000 mile review of the Toyota Tundra. Love it. They've got a bunch of different models. The SR5 is usually all I get, and then I kind of tweak it, put some rims, put a lift on it, do something. As far as the camper shell that goes on the back, no company, as of September 2022, no company makes a camper shell just yet. I've got one of the flat tonneau covers on there, so I can keep my stuff in the bed locked up. But nobody does yet. They're working on it. ARE and Lund, they're working on it. Or Lear's, I should say. Lear's working on it. They're going to get that stuff straight, hopefully sooner than later. But that's my Toyota Tundra 2022. It's by far the best Tundra I've ever had. Tows like a dream. Super comfortable, super quiet. Highly recommend it. If anybody has any more questions, please drop it down there in the comments. I will be happy to answer anything that I can in my limited experience. And if you want like a more full view, like any details, throw me out some more suggestions. Maybe I'll do a whole nother second video once I learn some more about it and get more miles on that truck. But as always, thank you guys for watching.